Okay, everyone, welcome back to Breslov Efrat here at Shira David Baruch Hashem. Mamash, a beautiful day here in Eretz Yisrael. Every day it's a present from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Haidul Hashem ki tov ki li'olam chazdai. Okay, we are learning Hilchas Birchas Haidah, giving thanks to Hashem. The four circumstances the person may find himself in, that'll have to make a public statement of thanks to Hashem, right? We call it benching Gaimel, okay? What we always say, it's a good thing to always thank HaKadosh Baruch Hu. For example, right now, America is bombing Iran, and Baruch Hashem, Al Tiftach Pelas. I just want to say, I want to say thank you to Hashem that we could sit here now. You understand?
Absolutely.
It's amazing.
Without being interrupted.
It's amazing. No, it's a chesed Hashem. I want to thank Hashem that He allows us to be here now.
Thank you.
And all the time. Okay. Okay, so we're learning Hilchas Baruch Haidah. We're in Halacha Hey, which is based on, again, lesson 31 in Likutey Moran, Lamed Aleph. And today we're up to letter Yud Beis, 12. Like the Shvatim, 12, right? Okay, good. Up to Yud Aleph?
Okay.
Are you sure? Oh, Yud Aleph, sorry. I'm sorry.
No need.
I had my, no problem. What?
I made a mistake once.
Yeah, it's okay.
You know what the mistake was? He thought he made a mistake in your head.
Yeah, very good. Okay. Yeah, we have just on the parsha, just something that I saw. It was something so amazing. You know, if you want to see a lot about Kairach, the best place to look is in Masechta Sanhedrin on Kuf Yud Kuf Yud. It has the whole story of Kairach and the whole backstory. It's unbelievable. So we're discussing over there this idea of Ein ben Pelas. He was one of the fellas that went along with Kairach. Right? It was Kairach, Dasan and Aviram, and Ein ben Pelas. Right? Those were the four. That's what's in the pasuk now. But when they got swallowed up in the ground, so Kairach and Dasan and Aviram and their families and everything from them, all their possessions, everything got swallowed into the ground. Everything.
Didn't Korach lost all his gold that he had?
Everything got swallowed up. Everything.
That's why people are looking for that place right now.
Yeah. You know, he had gold and jewels and everything. He was the wealthiest man.
He was the treasurer for Pharaoh.
He was the wealthiest man. Okay. But it doesn't say that Ein ben Pelas got swallowed up also. It said, Hashem said, after we see that after they got swallowed in the ground, the fire came and it burnt up the 250 that were part of Kairach's people. But you don't see. Now, what happened to this Ein ben Pelas? What happened to him?
His wife saved him.
Right. So let's talk about that for a second.
What happened?
I'll tell you the story. Ein ben Pelas came home. You know, you see the contrast between a good wife and a wicked wife. Okay, here we go. Ein ben Pelas comes home and he tells his wife, "Hey, you know, I joined Kairach today, and because he's making this revolt against Moshe Rabbeinu because Moshe Rabbeinu is not being just, he's not being right." So his wife said to him, "Hey, why are you joining this? She said to him, "Mamanashah, if Kairach wins, you're still Ein ben Pelas. You're going to be the same guy. If Moshe wins, you're still Ein ben Pelas. So why do you have to get involved? Why do you need to get involved?" She's thinking, "But this is a good thing. I like this." So she gives him a lot of wine, and she gets him intoxicated. That's what the Medrash says. It's amazing. And she went outside the tent. With her hair uncovered.
Wow.
She went outside of the tent, immodest. She wasn't modest. The Chevra came to pick up Ein ben Pelas. They came to, whoa, this lady sitting out here, you see how sometimes people are so mocked that they're trying to do something and they think they're so right, and they're trying to do. Now the lady is not dressed properly. They left. They wouldn't even look at her. They didn't want to talk to her. It's very bizarre, right? These are the people going against Moshe Rabbeinu and his Torah, but yet the lady. It's amazing. You see how far she went. Again, she did an Aveira Lishma. That's another case. She didn't do that because she wanted to sit like that. She wanted to protect her husband. She was saving his life. That's why she did that. She didn't do that because she wanted to be immodest. Then they take a look at Kaira's wife. What does she do? She instigates him. She was the instigator behind Kaira. Right? She was the instigator. It's just fascinating to see. You study the parsha and you see what's going on. It's unbelievable. All right, we're going to pick up where we are now in Yud Aleph. Okay, any questions on that? Do we understand that?
She was Biden's wife.
Yeah.
What did you say he was? Son Ben Pella?
His name was Oner Ben Pella.
Oh, that was his name.
That was his name.
So Osama bin Laden.
No, Mordechai, if you take out your Chumash and you read the first psukim and the parsha, it has his name there. His name is listed. It says Korach, Tasan and Aviram, and Oin Ben Pelas. It's in the pasuk. We read it this morning. Right? We read that this morning. Yeah. Okay. Here we go. So Yud Aleph. Al came. Iker his Gabras Pinchas. So we're talking about the story of Pinchas. Okay, let's just backtrack a little bit so we know where we're up to. Pinchas, there was a big problem going on in Klal Yisrael, right? There was a big act of immorality in going on, and the people were dying, and it was a terrible thing going on. We wound up losing 24,000 people died because of this thing with Bilam and the princesses of Midian. Okay, it's amazing. But okay, so you had the president of the Shevet Shimon that was involved in an immoral act with Cosby. She was a Midianite princess. So Moshe Rabbeinu was watching this and he was like, well, how could this be happening? Like he was speechless. But Pinchas realized, look at them, the people are dying here. This is a terrible thing. I have to do something to stop this. So he picked up a spear, Ramach. He picked up the spear, and he picked up that spear and he stabbed it through Zimri and Cosby. He killed them, and that's when the plague stopped. So he said yesterday, Pinchas zu Eliyahu. Pinchas is Eliyahu. Why is he Eliyahu? Because that act, what he did when he went to kill them, right? When he went to kill them, it was a very selfless act. In other words, he was not thinking at all about himself. He was just thinking about Hashem protecting the honor of Moshe Rabbeinu. How could this be? How could this be happening? And we said that yesterday, we learned this yesterday in 10, that act, when he did that, it was considered as if he passed away. That was his death. And then he came back to life. He was resurrected. So the same way we said a regular person has to be interred in the ground, and then their body becomes part with the ground. And when at Tchias HaMesim, they'll be resurrected pure. They'll be resurrected pure without the impurity that was placed into Chava, Aim al Kolbon, right? Right, and they won't have that. It'll be pure like Hashem created Adam from the offer, right? And that's why Pinchas is Elio and he's Zochur Latoiv, right? Because he didn't have to go through that process in the Zochur Latoiv. Okay, so today, Al Kain Iker is Gabris Pincha. What was the main his Gabris? What strength? What was his strength? How did he strengthen himself? That he had this kinna against the problem that was going on. Pinchas got up by Yipalel and he prayed. He prayed. He said to Hashem, "Look, I don't know. I'm not sure what's going on here, but I know that this can't keep going on. So Hashem, I'm taking action in my own hands here because this is not good what I see." Kikir's Gabris Pinchas Haisa Keneged Bilam Arosha Shekol HaMaseh Haro Hazois. That this whole act that was going on was all the plot and plan of Bilam. Again, let's remember, Bilam was very upset that he couldn't curse Klal Yisrael. Instead, he said, "Matoivu oilecha Yaakov bishkin esecha Yisrael." You realize every time you say Matoivu, right? Every time you say Matoivu, you give him another shtach. It's beautiful, right? You give Bilam another shtach because he wound up saying those words. That was the last thing he wanted to do, but he said the words. Hashem made a mockery of him. It's beautiful.
We also say by the wedding. We also say the bracha for Leah, Rachel from Lavan.
Yeah.
It's like something similar.
Yeah.
Happening over here.
Ahaisa al pi atzosoi k'meishe kosav hein heina hoyu b'dvar bilam. This whole thing, this whole act, everything that happened was only on the advice of Bilam. Ki Balak nisyayetz l'shloyach acher Bilam. Balak, he was the melech of Midian at the time, and he sent to get advice from Bilam. Machma shekoichai bepiv, because he knew, everyone knew that Bilam was such an impure person. He was the most impure person in the world at the time. So he was a good opponent to Moshe Rabbeinu, because Moshe Rabbeinu was the holiest person on the side of holiness. He was on the opposite side, the most impure person. So he had a koyach of speech, the same way Moshe Rabbeinu's koyach was all with tefillah, on the side of holiness, and that's how Moshe Rabbeinu accomplished everything, right? But so too, Bilam was on the side of impurity, and he had also the koyach of speech. He calls there hu inyan hanal migoydel koyach shal kisufim toivim ulehepich goydel haroy shegoimrin kisufim royim chas v'shalom. So look how far a person's desires can take the person. A person's desires, like Moshe Rabbeinu, takes him to the highest place. He's desiring to be close to Hashem. It leads him to the highest levels of holiness. And then take a look on the other spectrum. Take a look at Bilam, where he's desiring impurity, and look where it led him. It's amazing how important our Ratzon is. And this is so important. Rav Nosson really wants us to understand this, right? The fact that HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave us the Torah, which is 613 advices on how to get close to Him, right? The 613 mitzvahs are 613 advices and ways to get closer to Hashem. And it's our will, it's our job to align our will with the will of Hashem. That's our job. And when we do that, and we stay away from the enticement of the Yetzer Hara, that he loves to entice us, he loves to bother us. So then what we do is we strengthen our Ratzon to Hashem on the side of holiness. Ki Moshe Rabbeinu lo haya koyach ela bepiv. Moshe Rabbeinu's koyach was bepiv. Right? Let's go back. Where Moshe Rabbeinu was in Mitzrayim, he also connected to the parasha. Right? Moshe Rabbeinu, when he went back to when he was in Mitzrayim and he came out, and he saw the Mitzri that was hitting the Jew, and he looked both sides, and he said, "Hashem of Hashem," and he killed the Mitzri, and he covered him over. Right?
Interesting that Dov Moshe says that it's the time. I can't speak.
Yeah. Right. No, because he's such an honor. I can't speak. He can't speak in public.
Yeah.
That's what he meant. He could
Yeah.
speak to Hashem, but he's not a good public speaker. It's amazing, right? Moshe ben lo yahaya kaichai ela bepiv. Ki hu zacha b'yosem mikol ha'olam l'tzayer oisiyos ha'torah l'toiv. Because he worked more than anybody to try to fashion the letters of the Torah that should be good. Machma shoya kodesh b'kedusha sabris b'tachlis ha'kedusha. Moshe Rabbeinu was the holiest person. He was the holiest person when it came to kedusha sabris. His level of being holy was on a higher level than anybody else, and that's why he was the one chosen by Hashem to deliver the Torah to us, because it went through his mind. It went through Moshe Rabbeinu's mind, through his mouth. His mouth was pure, right? He gave us the Torah through his mouth. He gave us the Torah, and he processed the Torah through his mind that was pure. So he was the right person to give us the Torah. And therefore he was able to, through his desire, through his longing, through his pining of goodness, he was able to make the souls and the nekudos. We said that the letters, a letter based again lesson Lamed Aleph 31. If you have letters and the letters don't have vowels to them, those letters are dead. You don't know what the word is, right? You don't know what the word is. Many words are spelled the same way, but if you don't put vowels on the letter, you don't know what the word is talking about. Maybe if you have the word in the sentence, maybe you could figure out what we're talking about. But the words itself don't have any. There's no value to them.
Not activated.
They're not. Yeah, They're not working. But when you put nekudos on them, then the words are alive. The same way we said a person, when the person has his neshama, his nefesh inside of him, he's alive. Right? The person's alive. When they take away the nefesh, that's the guf without the neshama. Is a letter without the nekuda. Same idea. Moshe Rabbeinu was able to put together the letters of the Torah, again based on Hashem's dictation, of course. But Moshe Rabbeinu was able to write the letters down, and he was able to write them down that they would be energized with such goodness in them. Until Moshe was able to mezavek, he was able to join together, join together and partner up, all the letters of the Torah and to fashion them. All the letters in the Torah, all the words in the Torah, all Tov. He merited to give the Torah to Klal Yisrael. All the tzaddikim that were before him. You believe it's amazing, right? Avram wasn't zeicha to this. Avram Avinu, Yitzchak Avinu, Yaakov Avinu, the Shiftei Kah weren't zeicha. Moshe Rabbeinu was zeicha to this. Amram, his father, Moshe Rabbeinu's father, Amram, was one of the people that never sinned. He was a special yid. It was unbelievable. He was the leader of Klal Yisrael. He wasn't zeicha to do it. Moshe Rabbeinu was. Ki rak hu zacha ayedei kedushasai ha'atzuma. His kedusha was so powerful. L'tzaya kol ha'eses ha'torah l'toiv, to form and fashion all the letters of the Torah to be good, mamish good. Ad shenitztarfa b'tzeirufim hakedoshim ha'elu b'ofen shoya yochel hamshicha u'litno lanu elizakenu lanetzach. He gave us the Torah in a way that it's good for us and it's alive for eternity. The Torah is alive, the words are alive, based on Moshe Rabbeinu's kisuf and what he put into the Torah. And we said the Torah is 600,000 letters connected to the 600,000 source neshamas. And when you study Torah and you learn Torah and you read that and you understand, you learn it with a simcha, with a niggin, right? You read it with the trup. So you're activating, the trup is activating the nekudos, everything. You're working together with the whole system. And when you do that, you're activating those letters, and you can cause Balei Tshuva all over the world. People that you're activating their letters, their letter in the Torah, that they had no idea. They had no idea. But you're reading the Torah, and someone else says, there's Hashem in the world. It's amazing. The Torah is awesome. Why? Because Moshe Rabbeinu was able to infuse into the Torah these good desires. So when you study the Torah, you tap into that. You tap into the goodness that Moshe Rabbeinu put the treasure into each letter in the Torah. We know that the Torah was already before, right? We know that the Torah, there was a Metzius in the Torah. It says Hashem was mistakel by Raisa u'vayrei. Hashem looked in the Torah and He created the world. So the Torah was there before. So what did Moshe Rabbeinu do? You understand? Ki ha-Torah kodma li'olam. Because the Torah was before the world came in there. Again, Hashem looked in the Torah to create all of creation. Aval Hashem Yisbarach le'rotza litno livnei Adam ad sheyeh tzaddik kazeh. Sheyetztarfa v'yetzayra al yedei kidushosei b'tzirufim toivim karoyu litna letachtoinim. So that was the Torah that was up on high. You understand? That's the Torah up on high. But now the Torah, Hashem wanted someone to be able to bring the Torah down to this world. B'tachtoinim, down here in the Olam Ha'asiyah. In this world, to be in the Olam Ha'asiyah and reveal the Torah in this world. That we can benefit by it. Therefore, the whole world was like it was in limbo almost. There was no Torah. There was nothing here. Until Moshe Rabbeinu came and he accepted the Torah. Kihu zacha ba al yedei. Through his holiness. You see this? This is amazing. Through his holiness, he was able to infuse into the Torah. Is everything okay? He was able to infuse into the Torah his holiness and the goodness and the kisufim into the Torah. Where did it begin? It began with Avram Avinu. Shahaya ish hachesed. Again, we said when you learn Torah, you have to involve your actions have to be involved. You have to be involved in chesed, right? And it was the taitzah of your learning a Torah should be chesed, connecting to Avram Avinu. Avram Avinu was the midah of chesed. He personified chesed. Kamuva Batayra. Avram Avinu zachal lebechina shmiras bris ilah. Avram Avinu was such a holy person. He came to the shmiras habris ilah. How holy was Avram Avinu when Sarah Emunah and Avram Avinu were traveling down to Mitzrayim? I'll explain 1 minute. So why are we saying that Avram Avinu had such a shmiras habris ilah? Listen to this, it's amazing. Go back to the story when Avram Avinu came. Hashem Yisbarach told Avram, "Lech lecha meyadzecha me'adatecha me'beis avicha el eretz asher areka." Remember those words, right? And he went from Mesopotamia. He traveled all the way to Eretz Yisrael. It wasn't an easy trip. I mean, I can't even imagine doing it today with a Jeep. But he was traveling with his donkeys and his things, and he took everything with him. I can't even imagine that, but he did it. He did it. He traveled. He did it. He made it here. And he makes it over here. There's a famine. Hashem tested him. He could have said to Hashem, hey, back over there, we had all the good cucumbers and we had all the good stuff and we had all the good watermelons and all the good fish and everything else. Now I come here, there's nothing. What does he do? He says, okay, no problem. He packs up, and he knew that there was food in Mitzrayim. So it's not that far. It's certainly closer than going back to where he came from. So he packs up and he goes down, he's going down to Mitzrayim. As he's going down to Mitzrayim, there's a brook, passes a brook. And Sari Meinu's reflection was in the brook, and he saw Sari Meinu's reflection. He never even looked at his wife. That's how pure he was. He didn't even know. He said, "Oh, now I know you're a beautiful lady." The Torah says, "Now I know you're a beautiful lady." Why did he say that? Because he never looked. He was so pure. He was so pure. Wow, you really are a beautiful lady. It's amazing. So Avraham Avinu also had this idea, this level of Kedushas Habris for sure. So Avraham Avinu started this process of the Kisufim Tovim. And again, we said if a person has more Kedushas Habris, and then let's just answer your question. We said there's based on lesson 31. There's the bris, there's the Kedushas Habris Ilah, and there's the Kedushas Habris Tato. We have two levels, right? The Kedushas Habris Ilah is connected to Avraham Avinu, right? Like we just said, he personified Chesed, Avraham Avinu. He was so pure in his Kedushas Habris, in his purity. And Eliezer, his faithful servant, was considered the bris tato. He also was a pure person. It's amazing, right? He's a Kanani, right? It was amazing, right?
Yeah.
What? What?
Less non-chet, non-tet, something.
Yeah.
About the Talmud and.
Yeah. No. It's this is Lamed. No. You have Eliezer is known as the Lamdin. He's the Lamdin, and Avraham Avinu is known as the Tzaddik. La Tzaddik and the Lamdin. So we said that you have to take your Lamdonis and connect it to the Tzaddikim. Because if you're just learning as a Lamdin, then you wind up acting like Kairach, right? Or you wind up acting like Elisha ben Avuya, and you turn into Acher, right? Doesn't lead good. It's the most important. All right. Nothing happened today. Nothing. It's okay. It's all good. At least you had the cover on the cup today, right? See that? It limited the yeah. Okay. It's Kisuvim Tovim. Shaydei zeh also nefashos, and then Avraham Avinu was able to make nefashos, as we know. There's a nefesh asher also b'choron, right? The Torah tells us it's a nefesh asher also b'choron. Avraham Avinu was involved in making nefashos. How did he do that? Through acts of chesed and teaching about the oneness of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Kisufim Tovim. Therefore, Avraham Avinu was the first one, and the Torah started being fashioned and formed through his acts of kindness and through his holiness. As it says, Eikev asher shama Avram b'koili. Vayishmar mishmarti mitzvosai v'chukoisai v'toirosai. How do you like that? The Torah says like this: Eikev asher shama Avram b'koili. As Avram heard my voice, v'yishmar mishmarti, and he watched, he heeded my mitzvos, mitzvosai v'chukoisai, my mitzvos and my ordinances, v'toirosai, and my Torah. So you see, Avram Avinu was involved in Torah, mitzvos, and everything. V'chein amar Rabbeinu Zogan Levracha. Kiyem Avram Avinu Olav Shalom Afilu Eruve Tavshilin. Look at this, right? Avram Avinu knew the Torah so well, he perceived it. He perceived the Torah so well that he knew there's even such a thing as an Erev Tavshilin. Right? What is an Erev Tavshilin? We know if you're having if you have a Yom Tiv that winds up falling in, and it leads into Shabbos. Right? You have a yontif that, let's say there's a holiday on Thursday night.
like this year.
Like we had it this year, right? With Shavuos.
Yeah.
Shavuos was a perfect example. Shavuos was the perfect. This year, Shavuos was on Thursday night, right? Which led into Friday morning was Shavuos in Eretz Yisrael. Okay, but Shabbos comes in, Shavuos goes out, and Shabbos comes in. So now you have to prepare. On the very basic thing, what you have to do is the ladies have to light their candles for Shabbos, right? Even if you're not going to prepare any food, you're still going to light the candles, right? So if you want to light the candles, you have to make what's called an Erev Tafshilin, right? Because you're detracting from the holiness of the holiday to do something for the Shabbos. So you make this Erev Tafshilin which allows you to cook, to bake for Shabbos. Not on Shabbos, of course, but to prepare for Shabbos. Got it? You understand? So Avraham Avinu even understood that. He understood the holidays. We know that. He said when the three malachim came to Avraham Avinu, it said they said to Sarah Meinu, Lushi, make the dough, knead the dough. Why? She was making matzah. Making matzah. So Sarah Meinu was making matzah. Go ask, how do you figure? How do you know about matzah? He knew. He knew all the mitzvahs. Even Erev Tafshilin. It's fascinating. Avalafo pi shezacha b'kedushasei l'tzayir l'toiv. Even though he was able to, through his holiness, fashion things to be good, le'zacha l'tzayir b'shleimus kazeh ad shetia re'uya li'nasein l'tachtoinim. But it wasn't ready to be given down here. Yes, he was so pure for himself. He was able to do that for his wife, for his people that he had around him. But he wasn't able to be on a mass level. It couldn't be given out to all the people yet. It wasn't ready. But look what he says now. V'chein Yitzchak v'Yaakov. Yitzchak Avinu was the midah of Gevurah. Yaakov Avinu is the midah of Tferes. V'ashvatim, they were holy, the shiftei kah. Kulam asku b'zeh v'tiknu harbe. They all worked on being Mitzayah, the Isis of the Torah, l'toiv. And they accomplished a lot. Avaloi hishlimu ze'atikum b'shleimas. But they couldn't complete it. They all made a good effort. They all made a good effort into trying to advance the Torah. All of them. Avraham Avinu, Yitzchak, Yaakov, the Shvatim, Moshe Rabbeinu's father, right? Everyone, they all tried. They were great people. And they did a lot. But they couldn't finish it. They couldn't finish it.
That's why they couldn't. All those people, all those gearing that Avraham was making, all gone.
We don't know where they are. We have no idea.
I've learned once that once Avraham left Haran,
they left.
On the way, litter's gone, so they like disseminated.
The cat's away, the mice will play.
Right.
Right? They say, right? Right? You have the mice and the cats, and the cat goes away, the mice have a good time, right? They have no problem, right? Yeah. Ad sheba Moshe Rabbeinu shaya kodesh b'kedusha atzuma. So Moshe Rabbeinu was kodesh b'kedusha atzuma, in awesome holiness, an awesome level of holiness. Kol kach ad shezocha likisufim toivim v'retzonos kedoshim ke'elu. As Moshe Rabbeinu was able to go higher, much higher than all of the even the Avos HaKadoshim and even the Shiftei Kah. Moshe Rabbeinu was able to pass through them and transcend way higher than them. Ki Moshe Ola Ad Rotzon Sheberetzonos. Moshe Rabbeinu came to that place of Rava de Ravin. Moshe came to that place where the Ikka place of Rotzon comes from. He reached up to that place of Rotzon Sheberotzon. It's amazing. Shayidei zeh zochalis talek sham k'may she'isa b'zayir HaKadosh. And we learned a lot about this. And therefore Moshe Rabbeinu, when he passed away at the time on Shabbos, right after Mincha, right before Shabbos went out. That's the time of Ravid the Ravid. And that's when he passed away, because that's the level he came on. It's the holiest time of the week. It's the holiest time, and Moshe Rabbeinu reached that, and that's why he left at that time. Ba'al kein zachahu litzarfa litzayra litoy b'shleimus kazeh ad she'oisa ru'uya li'inasein lanu, is until he was able to fashion it and prepare it, until it'll be ready for us to accept. Isn't that beautiful? We said to Hashem Yisbarach at Kabbalah Satorah. Hashem said, "Anochi Hashem Elokecha." We threw us back. We passed away. Then they threw us back. So many, unbelievable. And we said we can't listen to Hashem. It's too powerful. Moshe Rabbeinu, you tell us the Torah. That's what we said. We can't. We need you. And that's what baffles me beyond words, when you try to understand, you see how it's all really the Ratzon Hashem. How this fellow Kairach was there. He also got thrown back. He also was asking, we want to hear the Torah from Moshe. And now he's questioning Moshe Rabbeinu? Hey, buddy, it was only 2 years ago. It wasn't, this wasn't, 30, 40 years ago. No. This was 2 years ago from when this story happened. 2 years. How do you forget something like that? I can't understand it. Really, if you think the story through, how did he go up against? It's amazing. But you see how bad an evil wife can be. See that? Even though he saw it, she got into him. Sheyiyah kol ha'olam misnaig u'miskayim l'doros al yodam. How the world can be conducted and run and have existence through for all generations through the Torah. Machmazeh haya koichay bepiv lahanig kol ha'olam kiritzayna. And therefore Moshe Rabbeinu had, again, with his mouth, using his words, he had the way to run the world the way he wanted to. He was able to do awesome miracles and change Teva and do all kinds of things, because again, he was connected to the Ratzon Sheberatzon. His words were so pure. Asher loy nishmu v'loy niru. No one ever heard anything like, never heard, and no one ever saw anything like this. His koyach was all with his words. And we know Malchus is peh, right? Malchus is the peh, the words. And after Moshe Rabbeinu was able to be Mitzayah, the letters of the Torah, to be good. Al came bevadei hoya like koyach lasais meifsim and nairoyim ayde diba piv koha kodesh hoya yochel etzari v'oisis haTorah uledabe behem b'diburim kedoshim bepiv. And therefore Moshe Rabbeinu was able to come up with the greatest drushes and the greatest ways for us to understand the Torah. And that's why he's Rabban Shel Yisrael. That's why he's the Rebbe of Klal Yisrael, of all of Klal Yisrael, of all sects of Klal Yisrael. Moshe Rabbeinu is the leader. And he was able to make from the sea that it should be dry land by Kriyas Yamsuf, right? The way you fashion them to be good. The only thing that's good in the world is Torah, because Torah is connected to Hashem, to the goodness of Hashem, the Ratzon of Hashem. So when we follow the Torah, you're following good. And therefore, Balak, he was very nervous that we were on our way to destroy his kingdom. He liked his kingdom, right? Midian was nice. He had a nice palace. He had a nice things. He liked everything. He liked everything. He wanted to keep it. He went together with Moav. They were fighting like cats and dogs. Midian and Moav were fighting like cats. But they got together in order to go against Klal. So like we see today, nothing changed. All the Arab countries, everyone hates the other one. But they all get together to hurt Klal Yisrael, to try to hurt Klal Yisrael. It's the same thing. The story never changed, didn't change. It's the same story. It's the same story. Shegam came koychoy bepiv, because he knew that. So now we just established that Moshe Rabbeinu had the koyach bepiv, right? And we established that. So now Balak, the Melech, he says, wait a second, I need to get someone to go against this Moshe, because he's gonna use his mouth and he's gonna knock me down. So I got to get someone that's on his level to fight him. So he goes to Maya, he gets a Bilam. Ki Bilam haya beklipa kineged Moshe. Bilam was the klipa, was the husk of impurity, opposite in contrast to Moshe. K'Moshe Amru, Rabbi Sein Zchon Levracha, v'haya yedei goydol tu Mosai v'kisufa v'aroya miyoid. Haya yochel etzari v'oises lehepach. So Bilam, because he was so impure, and because he was so wicked, he was able to take the letters, again, the letters of the Torah, and turn them into something evil. Again, they're letters. You can do what you want with them. If you have good kisufim, if you have good desires, you turn them into good. And then the kisufim, the desire, turns the letters, and it makes their ratzon, makes the kudas for the letters, and it's a wonderful thing. But on the other spectrum, it works the same way. The person desires more evil, desires more impurity, and that's all he's longing for. He's taking the letters, and he's energizing those letters, again with his ratzon, but for the bad. Ki hazeh luma zeh asa lekim. We know these words, we studied these words many times. HaKadosh Baruch Hu made everything in the world balanced. Whatever level of purity there is in the world, there's the equal level of impurity. It's not that there's more purity than impurity. They're equal. HaKadosh Baruch Hu keeps everything balanced. B'alkein hayu Yisrael be'emes oz b'sakona gedoyla k'moshe kosev ami zochar no ma yoatz alecha Balak, my nation, Navi Micha says, my nation, remember what advice, the advice, my yoatz alecha Balak, what was Balak's advice to bring over Bilam? You understand that? That's amazing. Aval Hashem Yisrael Barachamav, Cham ala Yisrael. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu, with his great compassion, he had mercy on Klal Yisrael. V'nasan koyach la kisufim toivim shel Moshe v'Yisrael she'is gabru kineged kisufim v'havolim aroyim shel Bilam HaRasha. And he made it that Moshe Rabbeinu and our kisufim of every yid kisufim to get closer to Hashem, he gave it more. HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave us an edge over Bilam. He gave us the edge over Bilam. Ad she'ikem es piv. HaKadosh Baruch Hu was able to change over his mouth. He was able to coerce his mouth, coerce it. Ad shehuklach l'tzarif ha'isas l'tayv v'levarach es Yisrael. That's how much so HaKadosh Baruch Hu was following the kisufim of Moshe Rabbeinu and us. It's amazing. Until the Rasha had to use his mouth that was so impure. But he says, he gives us a bracha. That was the last thing he wanted to do. V'zeh hadavar naseh b'chol dar kasher ivanti midvarov v'ramazav hakadosh m'zchon levracha. And every generation, we see the same thing happening. You have all these guys out there speaking bad about Klal Yisrael. They're trying to destroy Klal Yisrael. Nothing changed. Nothing. Right? You have the UN. There's a whole building full of people. All they're doing is speaking against Klal. That's all. That's their job. That's their job. To go against Klal Yisrael. That's their job. That's all they do. That's all they do. They're supposed to be the peacekeepers of the world. Yet there's people being killed in Africa, thousands every day. They don't care. They don't care. They don't care that Iran was able to kill over 40, 50,000 people, and they kill keeping people. They don't say a word. They don't say not a word. What, but you're supposed to be the peacekeepers? What are you doing? Right? How many people were killed in Syria? Sashi, how many people were killed in Syria?
Not in the middle.
No, but it was a big number.
Even now in Africa,
It's going on today. It's going on today. Thousands are being killed every day. Thousands. They don't say a word. It's Bilam and Balak all over. It's the same thing.
No Jews, no news.
Huh?
No Jews, no news.
No Jews, no news. I like that. Ki be'inyan ha'avolim hayotzim hayedei kisufim toivim. Because of the vapor that comes out of the mouth from someone that has a good desire. Oy royim chas v'shalom, or bad. Yesh tevarim nistarim harbe. There's a lot of hidden things that are going on behind the scenes. Words. K'maisha v'ya kitzatz mizeh b'torah. Now, al posik. Yesh hevel asher naseh al oretz. There's some kind of vapor that happens on the world. Hevel is vapor, right? Some kind of vapor. It happens on the world. This is the idea of the Gilgulei and the Nefashos. Things are changing constantly. We have no idea what's going on behind the scenes, like we see in the Parsha. Who would have ever thought, if you didn't have the Sefer HaGilgulim from the Arizal, that Korach and Moshe Rabbeinu was settling the score of Cain and Hevel? Could you imagine that? You see the story. You think this Moshe against Korach. Yeah, but if you understand the story a little deeper, you see, wait a second, Korach is the higher level of the neshama of Cain. The Mitzri that he wound up killing was the lower level of the neshama of Cain. Back there, okay? Moshe Rabbeinu is the higher level of Hevel. Why does Moshe Rabbeinu say, hey, whoever Hashem chooses, it should be, and if Hashem didn't choose you, the ground should open up and swallow you up. Moshe Rabbeinu never said any kind of thing like that ever. Ever. It's way out of his character. It's way out of Moshe Rabbeinu's character. You would have thought Moshe Rabbeinu had said to Hashem, okay, Hashem, look, he has a bad calculation. Let's daven for him. Let's help him out. I mean, come on. Okay, so he went against. Okay, I got it. But Moshe Rabbeinu, normally his character is, hey, I got to daven for this guy. No. I want the ground to open up and swallow him in. Strange, right? No, you know why? Because what happened when Cain killed Hevel? It says his blood was in the ground. It was crying. It was screaming in the ground. So now Hevel takes revenge, settles the score against Cain. And he goes in the ground, and now he's screaming in the ground. So we think we know what's going on, but we have no idea what's going on. No idea. Ay. Ayin Sham. Okay. Kimuva Leel. Mizev Hashem Yisbarach. Choymel al Amai Bechol Dar V'oisen Niflois Kedoilis Levadei Ki Li'olam Chazdai. Such beautiful words. Choymel al Amai. Hashem has compassion on us. He has mercy on us. Bechol Dar. In every generation. V'oisen Niflois Kedoilis. And He does awesome, great things for us. I mean, look, we're in Efrat. We have how many Arabs in Beis Lechem over there? A lot, right? We have that other village over here, right over there, right? Ibram, whatever it's called over here, right? And these guys, none of them like us. But over here, it's amazing, right? Chesed Hashem. This is the Chesed of Hashem. Look at this. Because Hashem wants Chesed. Again, Hashem made the world Oilam Chesed Yibana, right? Hashem made the world with the premise of Chesed. Shemagbir b'chol eis ha'avolim v'kisufim l'kedusha shehem b'chinas chesed ala kisufim v'avolim royim shelo yachrivu es oilam chas v'shalom. And that's why it's so important. We're always involved in our Torah learning. It's so important we're involved in our chesed that we do. We don't realize that the chesed that we do is actually saving us. It's saving us against all of the wickedness of the world that want to destroy us. Every act of chesed that we do. Can you believe? It's amazing. Why? Because you're connecting to Hashem. Because Hashem made the world of chesed. Hashem wants chesed. When you do chesed, you're following the will of Hashem. And therefore Hashem Yisbarach commands us to remember. Ma'aseh Bilam, K'maisha Kosav, as it says, Ami Zocha no Ma'yoetz Alecha. Remember what happened. Hashem says remember. You know why? Because it's going to happen to you in every generation. The same thing's going to happen again. Remember that story. And the same way I saved you there, if you do your chesed and you trust in me, I'll save you again. Every generation. Remember the story. It's going to happen again. And again. And again.
He says, remember Egypt all the time.
Yes. It's happening again and again. Yes. Uma ana oisai Bilam. And what Bilam's answer was. Kidei leida shegam ata Hashem Yisbarach oisai manu k'maisha haya oz. Hashem does for us what He did for us back then. He does, and He will keep doing for us. Lahafer b'chol pam atzai sasitra acha. You see that? Lahafer. To annul all the advices of the Sitra Acha, all the advices of the UN, all the advices of our neighbor, the Iranian, all the advices of the Hezbollah, the Hamas, the Houthi, all of them. Ki ba'avosei v'chemlosei hu sheleach lanu b'chol dor tzaddikim amitim keilu, because Hashem is always sending us great tzaddikim. Sheyesh koyach b'kedushasam lahagber ha'avolim d'kedusha shenasem kisufim tovim al ha'avolim d'sitracha shenasem b'kisufim leivach. And it's our sense, Hashem sends us the tzaddikim. We have Rav Nosson, we have Rabbi Nachman, we have the great tzaddikim that teach us all the time, that we have to just strengthen our Emunah in HaKadosh Baruch Hu and believe that every time we do a chesed, we're fighting against the evil. Is that amazing? We fight against the evil via doing a chesed. Come on, is that amazing? Do a chesed, fight against the evil. Huh?
Hezbollah, Hamas, Putin, it all starts with
Ches.
and then chesed.
Yeah. It's all there. Ve'ikar ha-milchama is this great milchama. The main point of this milchama is Zacha Pinchas B'koicha Ishal Moshe Lilcha Milchama Zois Kineged Atzais Bilam HaRasha. And Pinchas, what did he do? He tapped into the koyach of Moshe Rabbeinu. It says by Pinchas Vayipala. He prayed, right? Pinchas prayed. That was the method of going to battle of Moshe Rabbeinu. He used his mouth. Pinchas used his mouth, prayed to Hashem. Until he was able to make these havolim the kedusha. He was able to fashion the letters of the Torah to make them good. He took the roimach, he took that spear in his hand. Shera hamem. He saw the mem of the Malach HaMavis. Shoysa mishtaytetes v'oysa roitza litztaref ela taf. Chas v'sholem. He saw the mem wanted to connect to the taf. Met. Mem tet. Death. Until until there will be total destruction. That's what he saw was going on here. It was a time that the Sitra Achra was trying at that time with that Maisa of Zimri and Cosby and that act of immorality that was going on in Kleisel that killed 24,000 people. You understand what that is? 24,000 people. He took the mem and he included it with his letters, which was Pinchas. V'oila she'oila Ramach. It comes into 208. No, Reish and Ches, 208. V'ayidei zeh nase roimach. He took the mem from him, the 200 from his name, right? And together he got the word Ramach. His gaber kinegdam. He was able to go against them. It didn't say he took a cherev, right? Normally you would have said you wouldn't take a Ramach, or you would take a cherev. The Torah would have said he took a sword, right? In those days they had swords. Why did he take a Ramach? Why is he taking this kind of spear? Where did he get a spear from? He made the spear with his name. That's where it came from. V'gam osak betfila k'moshe kosav yamed Pinchas vayipalo ki hoysa milchama atzuma miyoid ad shehoya tzarech lekama nisim shenasu loy k'moshe amazin z'lracha. There were so many miracles that happened at that time for Pinchas that he had the ability to do this, to pray. He had the ability to take the mem from the samach mem, take his mem of Misa. He wanted to place it with Misa and the Tuf to make death. And Pinchas was able to take the mem from him, and his name was 200, and put it together, and he was able to make Ramach. Unbelievable. Milchamtai. All of this happened through him fashioning the letters into something good, real special. And therefore he merited to have the priesthood for eternity. As we learned so much, the Kayin is Ahava and Chesed. The lips of the Kayin, you should watch the Das, because the Kayanim are on such a high level, the Kayin are on such a high level of Kedusha. Here you see the importance of constantly having the Ratzah to be close to Hashem. And every time you do, don't discount it. When you feel there's a level of holiness, when you feel there's a level of something special, you feel something, go with it. Connect to it. Know that you're fighting evil in the world. Could you believe that? You're fighting evil in the world. Every time we do something good, we take the letters of the Torah, we energize them, we make them good. Okay, that's the lesson for now, and Yetzer Hashem will continue this tomorrow with Hashem's help, of course, and then we'll learn about the why the parshas are all joined together, why the parsha of Pinchas, why Bilam, the parsha of Bilam, why is the with the Meraglim and Kairach, everything, why are they all in this thing? We're going to learn that tomorrow, Yetzer Hashem. Okay, so today we learned the important thing of having the Ratzon to the right side and being connected to the Tzaddikim. When you do that, you can become you're on the side of Moshe Rabbeinu. But if a person is looking for the wrong thing and he's striving after the wrong thing, he's on the camp of Bilam. That's not a good camp to be in. Don't go to Camp Bilam. Go to Camp Moshe. Okay? Okay. People are thinking about camps today, right? So don't if you see a Camp Bilam, don't sign up for that camp. Don't go to that camp. Yeah, okay. Today so we're learning in Kitzur Shulchan Aruch. We're learning Simin Lamed Ches. 38, Hilchas Pas Akum, Bishulei Akum, and Cholav Akum. So today we were learning, before we learned about the pas, we learned about bishul akum. Now we're going to learn about the cholav. We're going to learn about milk, cholav Yisrael milk. Cholav shechal boy akum bein Yisrael rayeyu. If you can have a cow owned by a Jew, right, in his barn, and there's a guy, he goes in there and he milks the cow. The Jew's not there, not watching it. Also, afilu lasais mimenu gvina. You can't even, and this is the chiddush. Why? We said, how do you make gvina? How do you make cheese? It spoils. Oh, if it spoils, it takes maybe the pagam would have gone out. No, can't use it. Can't use it for anything. It's no good. You can't use it. And really, the Jew is supposed to be there at the time that he squeezes the udder and he's milking the cow. He has to watch him do that. Or the Jew does it himself, of course. That's fine too. V'yira haklihu naki. This is very important. He has to first check, before the milking process starts, the mashkiach that's there has to check the pot, the bowl that it's going to be collected in. Is the bowl clean? Not that it's clean, that there's no dirt in there. Clean, that there's no other substance of milk that's in there. Maybe pig milk is in there. Maybe camel's milk is there. I don't know. V'nagu lahachmir sheloi yachloiv l'soich hakli shedarkoi shel akam l'chalev l'sorechai. And we have it's a minhag that we have. And if the guy uses his pot, his bowl, that he milks his cows with, so even if you wash it out, don't use it. Don't use his bowl. Because he can use his bowl for other milk. Don't forget, he can use his bowl for pig's milk as well. Right? If he does that, and we know that they used to use pig's milk they would mix it into the milk in order to extend. It was like a preservative almost. Pig's milk was a preservative. They used to use it for regular milk. Okay, so it could be that the guy had put in his pot pig's milk, or milk with pig's milk.
Great intentions.
No. For the guy, it's okay. He's making it better, so it shouldn't spoil.
Right.
No, but that's the point. Yeah. That's why we can't use his pot, because again, it's baileya. The time of the pig's milk is into the walls of the pot, and therefore it'll give off into the end. You're not allowed to be mishtamish with that. Ushvachos shechovos behemas bebeis Yisrael. Oy bedir shaloi. If you have a maid servant, a shivcha, right, and she's milking the behemoths, the cows, whatever it is, bebeis Yisrael in a Jewish house, oy bedir shaloi, kol mokim she'ein beis akum maspik ein lochus lebehema tameya. So here we go. If she's working in your, you have a lady that's working in your place and there's nothing else around her. There's nothing around your farm for miles. There's no one else around it. And there's only, on your property, there's only cows. You don't have any other, you don't have anything else. You only have cows. So then that would be okay, because she's using your pot. And she's using your cow, and there's only cows there, so she can't get other milk and be piking it with other things. Muta afilu chatchila lanichan lechaloiv aval im bebeis akum mafsik tzarich yiyeh yisol sham. If it's in a guy's place, so then you have to have again a Jew there, and to see the pot and to see it was clean and all of that. Vafilu kotanai kitana b'nei teisha shonim sagi will work. It's cute, because last time we said when it came to the keli mikvah, right?
kid.
You can't use a kid to make to be saimach on the kid. But for the milk, you have a child that's 9 years old, and the child tells you, "I was there, and I saw it being milked. I saw the milk coming out." You can rely on that. Chiddush. It's a chiddush. Okay, so again, here we go. Let's just to review. So anytime you have a guy that milks a cow, or milks a goat, or right that and there's no Jew present, no good. Unless your place is in an isolated place where there is no way for him to get any other milk, right? You don't have any refrigeration, and he couldn't have milk from somewhere else. He couldn't bring any milk. He was on your property for many weeks already, so he didn't come there with other things. There's no chishash of that. So then if he does it on your property, there's nothing else, and he's using your pot that never had any pig's milk in there, any other milk in there, so then that will be okay, we said. Otherwise, you have to stand there and watch the process. And that's what we do today. There's always a mashkiach there watching the milk, and that's what hence is Chalav Yisrael. That's what Chalav Yisrael. Not to mistake. So now, like let's say in Eretz Yisrael, when you see Chalav Yisrael, and even in America, if you see Chalav Yisrael, or in Europe, wherever you go, you see Chalav Yisrael, that means there was a mashkiach that had the re'iyah. He was watching the milking process, like we said, from the beginning. He saw that the bowl, the pot that they used to collect the milk was clean. Okay, and he knows that it was never used for anything else. It wasn't used for any, this is only a farm that they have cows, and they never have any other animals, and nothing else. So then in that case, that milk is perfect, because he's watching it. Right? But anytime there's no Jew there, that milk is also not, and it remains with its pagam, and it can't be rectified even if it gets spoiled. So that means you can't even make cheese with it. So it's amazing to understand the halachos, to understand it, and these are so that we're gonna learn the Yetzer Hashem tomorrow about cheeses. Chalav Yisrael cheese, and what the importance of Chalav Yisrael cheese is, and what the aspects of that are. Okay, so everyone, we should have a wonderful day, and remember to have good kisufim, longings for HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and don't forget to do a chesed. Kol tuv.